sometimes people you just don't want to deal with. Now, alright, here's the scenario. Some guy who's not from here come up, wanted to find some blues. This is a type of pills. No, nobody there has any. Nobody wants to. No, nobody at the gas station is interested. We're not going to help you with that. So then he wanted to approach some young women who are obviously too young. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. I mean, for me, anybody under the age of 30 looks 12, but you know, they're even telling this guy that they're younger than they are, hoping this guy will go away. This guy is wanting to ask me about getting him something, and I just did my best to ignore him. If you can, it's a good thing. But he kept on wanting to push the other people there to, hey, well, what about him? What about him? No, dude, I don't fuck with that shit, and I'm not gonna. I'm not interested in selling drugs. I'm not interested in buying drugs. I'm not interested. No means no. Everybody else there said no. And of course, if I were not a homeless person, I might have called the cops on that man. As a homeless person, it's not going to do any good. Now, thank goodness for me, the lady at the gas station come out, and she told that man in no uncertain terms that it was time for him to go. It wasn't that he overstayed his welcome because he was hanging out too long. It wasn't that he was overstaying his welcome because he had bought something, but then he just wanted to linger. I mean, for the most part, a lot of folks here are pretty lax about that. Now, what that guy got run off from the gas station for was trying to solicit illicit drugs from minors and from me. Even after those two youngins had let him know loud and clear that they weren't interested, and they had asked him to go away, and they had told him to go away. It's not like a situation where they had lied about him and he was trying to get him to stop. Like, hey, could you tell the truth? People are hurting me. Was it that kind of a situation? No, it wasn't. It was some guy who couldn't take no for an answer. Now, Hood River is a pretty small town, and this isn't the kind of behaviors that you would expect in a small town, but it's really not that small. This place is about 7 or 8 times the size of Chapel, Nebraska, easy. Now, of course, I'm away from all those folks. I don't want to have all those folks in my video talking about it's just a stressful situation when something like that happens. Like, you know, the first time you can understand kind of sort of maybe they didn't hear you. But by time 7 or 8, when you're telling somebody, hey, this is not okay, you've already been instructed that these people aren't even old enough to procure such whatevers, and here you are after they've already told you repeatedly no, and they're speaking on my behalf, which I'm against, but at the same time, like, I felt that since he was harassing 2 minors, if it got, well, one of them's a minor, I guess. I don't know if it's true or not, or if they were just saying that to get him to go away, but I do know that's a common tactic. I also know that the comfort level there for me was not anywhere near an acceptable or tolerable level. It's a tough thing to overcome. Now, maybe it was somebody who thought it was a target of opportunity. Maybe it was somebody who was legit trying to get something. Maybe it was some undercover here trying to be a douchebag. I don't know. I don't fucking care. What I do care about is that, well, when people are kind to you and they're giving you a chance to leave, that should be the end of it. that is the point where you need to take the opportunity to cut your losses and go. Now, there's a lot of situations where it could follow you. Like that guy, we could get a camera picture of him, and even if he goes to another state, try to post it up all over the news and tell what a creeper he is and all that. You know, we could do that. It's an awful lot of work, though, isn't it? People don't want to put in the work. And then again, that dude was, well, he wasn't trying to touch no little kids. He was just being a creeper. Actual creeping. You notice the situation with Natalie and her drugs, the ones that she kept in her life were the actual druggy creepers. For me, I got to deal with crooked cops and those druggy creepers. And then I got to deal with a bunch of folks who think they get to tell me things in private. No. There's nothing private between you and I. At any point in time, I am subject to telling any and all of your personal and family business if it will help to save human lives, if it is pertinent to the situation, and quite often it is. Moral of the story, leave the kids alone. Moral of the story, leave the homeless alone. Stop victimizing us. We don't deserve it. When somebody says no, it's a good thing to have, and this is a horrible thing to say, but it's a good thing to have a white woman there to speak up. Me speaking up, well, because I am a male, and male led to violence, and quite often does. Now that man, he was saying that he's got acid and he's got mushrooms, which means that, well, he might be a happy-go-lucky guy, but he wouldn't lend himself out there like he was using those. If he was using anything, it was, well, one of them drugs that's more likely to make you violent. Methamphetamines and the like, alcohol. But I didn't get close enough to him. If he'd have tried anything screwed up, there were at least 3 people there that would have stood up immediately and made sure that that man did not get physically violent with anyone. But beyond that, who actually has faith in the Hood River Police Department? Anyone?